Hey, let's talk about that Survivor Series moment when Steve Austin is going to be a victim of a hit and run. Of course, that's really to just explain why he's going to be off TV, because some really scary news. The guy who has led the charge to topple the NWO and allow Monday Night Raw the opportunity to beat Nitro in the ratings, Stone Cold Steve Austin, my man needs spinal fusion surgery. He's not going to be able to wrestle. And this has to be a lot of panic. I mean, you've been through the ups and the downs at this point in the WWE, but when you find out that your Hulk Hogan, your Bruno Sammartino, the guy who's the top guy of your generation, Stone Cold, is going down with a neck injury, are you nervous about what that could mean for business, or do you view it as an opportunity for someone else to keep that momentum going and step up?
You know, I don't know if everything I have here is a result of Stone Cold, but damn sure a lot of it is. I mean, my mortgage payment at the time was pretty much a result of Stone Cold selling out arenas. I mean, when a guy gets hot like that, and I've never seen a guy get hot like that. I mean, I know there were people in the past, from Londos to Hogan, that had gotten hot, Tommy Rich in the Carolinas, King down in Memphis, but I'd never seen anything like Stone Cold. Where you put any building in the world, you put his name on, we sold out. It was insane. And the money difference. Now, a lot of the world changed with the NWO and the whole Monday Night Wars and all that stuff. But Steve was our guy, man. He was our freaking Norman Schwarzkopf. He was the one he was the guy that was storming Normandy. Steve was it. And all of a sudden we lose him. It was horrifying. I knew we had guys stepping up. I knew we were in a much better position, at least financially and attendance wise. Now, we had a great roster back in 95. We just had people in wrong characters and we weren't drawing any money. We're drawing money now. And thanks a huge part to, maybe even a majority part, to Steve. But we had other guys that were able to draw money. So it wasn't as horrifying, as scary as, say, when you had just one guy, because we had some other guys, but Steve was the guy. There's no doubt about that. And that's a scary thing when you're sitting there on the roster. And is it an opportunity for other people? Absolutely. You know it's an opportunity for other people. It still doesn't take away from the fact that every one of these buildings, they don't have black tarps anywhere on them because of Stone Cold. Do we go back to that or do we not? I mean, you know what you got with Steve. You don't know what you got with the next guy. Is it an opportunity? Yes. But it's also nerve-wracking. You better freaking believe it.
Hey, let me ask you about Kurt Angle. He's going to debut that night, defeating Shawn Stasiak. We've had weeks of promos on TV, so we've established that he's a, delusional Olympic character. But I don't think anybody would have ever predicted he would have the rookie year he had in the WWE. I don't even think it can be debated. The most successful rookie year in the history of WWE, maybe in all of pro wrestling. What was your initial, would you have guessed that or predicted that before you saw it? And if not, when did it click for you? Like, oh, this guy's going to be different.
No, how would you predict The Rock? How would you predict Stone Cold? I was there with Steve, was a ringmaster, and we knew this guy's this incredible hand, which we're going to talk about great hands later in the show. You knew Steve was this incredible wrestler and this great hand. Do you realize that he's going to become the guy that sells out every building you put his name on? I don't think there's any way to realize that. Do you realize that Cena's the guy? I knew Cena was the guy back in WrestleMania 21. Did that mean that he's going to go on and be 17-time world champion and make all these movies and stuff? No, of course not. I just knew he was good enough to be the guy to carry the title. I'm so happy that he became this guy. But with Kurt, you knew he was good. By the way, Kurt's first match he attended was when me and Ron beat up Public Enemy. And Kurt was like, the hell with this. Really, you got to ask Kurt about it sometime. But when Kurt came in, I don't know if we had trepidation. We had trepidation not because of his talent. This guy's the best wrestler on the planet. This guy's not good. This guy's alien level. He could be the greatest Olympic wrestler of all time, people were saying. But to even be considered that is unbelievable. So we know how much talent he has, but he hadn't worked the territories. He hadn't worked this education background system to learn the business. Plus, he didn't even know the business. He just kind of came in it. Kurt is the most amazing story I think I've ever seen. I've never seen a guy come in when business was that hot. We had this incredible, talented roster. There were no voids, by the way. Kurt created his own way. And to come in and to do the things that Kurt has done, that guy is not once in a lifetime. That guy is once in about a 10,000 year performer.
An unbelievable career, and it's hard to imagine that it got started at Survivor Series here in 1999, and something that no one will ever be able to accuse Kurt of is having stinky matches. Nobody ever said Kurt Angle stinks. Hey everybody, so by now you've heard me bragging about saving people money at savewithconrad.com for years, but I thought, you know what, don't take my word for it. Let's ask someone who really did save with Conrad. Let's welcome in Tyrus. Tyrus, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, Conrad. How about yourself?
Man, I'm delighted to talk to you. I got to ask, what made you come to Save with Conrad originally?
Well, first, I'm a return shopper, if you will. I was listening to the podcast years ago now with you and Bruce, and I just figured we were in the mode for a refinance, and I heard you guys save money, so I called you guys, got hooked up with Jimmy way back then, and that's really how the ball started to roll.
So initially you were interested in lowering your monthly payments, or did you want to knock out some credit card debt, or what was your goal the first time you went to savewithconrad.com?
It was mostly just to get the lower rate, but there's a little bit of credit card debt in there too, so we rolled that all up.
And you got a cheaper monthly payment on the other side of that?
Yeah, yep. And with this time that I used, it saved me quite a bit a month, yeah.
So let's talk about what brought you back to Save with Conrad. First of all, thank you for using us not once, but twice. I appreciate that. But that was your needs back then. When was that? Was that 2020 that you did that before?
Yeah, it was around that, maybe 2019, somewhere around that.
Okay. So now a few years later, your needs have changed. What prompted you to go to savewithconrad.com this time?
Well, we were looking to refinance once again because we bought during the high rate time. And we had, a little bit of credit card debt, and we thought, why not hit that refinance button? And originally, we were thinking, why not just go through the national brand that was servicing our loan? I called one of them over there, and he crunched the numbers, and he said, no can do. Sorry. And then I thought, I'll just stay with Conrad again. And I called, and the delightful Frances answered, and you know her.
Oh, yeah.
And the first thing after I told her what the national brand said, she just said, are they stupid? We can save you money. And she got the ball rolling. I worked with the OG Larry and saving $425 a month.
All right. I love to hear that, man. $425 a month. I love that, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
If you had someone who was on the fence, because I know that there's a lot of people who just know me as the wrestling podcaster, but if you had someone who listens to my pods and they're on the fence about whether or not this is a real service and can he really do this? I mean, what would you say to that?
Absolutely do it. It worked for me multiple times, from Jimmy way back when to Francis and Larry. Just the whole team. They just had nothing but great things to say. They're easy to work with. They worked well with the inspectors and everything like that. It's just a great experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to help save you some money, and I would be delighted if we could help save you and your family some money. Do what Tyrus did. Go right now to savewithconrad.com. You can talk to a live person, get a quick quote, or just drop us an email directly at conrad@savewithconrad.com. And of course, we can still do it the old school way. Give us a call toll free at 888-425-0105. Thanks for all the time today, Tyrus. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Conrad.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com.